I hope I'm live. I tried going on StreamYard and it never would connect for some reason. So I had to end that and come on over and just go live on YouTube. So that's what I'm doing now. Let me message Connie, or somebody message Connie, because she was waiting in the other one. There's Angela Groover. Good. Hello. Silly Cat. Well, I can't message her. Um, there's Connie. I was just trying to message you because I knew you were waiting in the StreamYard chat and it would not connect to YouTube. I don't know why this time it didn't. I did something not right, I guess. I was in too big a hurry, so I ended that and just went straight on YouTube like I always do. I think it'll be all right. I mean, the picture looks pretty clear unless it starts acting up later on. How's everybody doing this evening? I've been busy today. I've got some lemon herb tea here. Hopefully it will help my throat and keep me from coughing so much. It's a little hot. How's Silly Cat doing this evening? We've got 10 watching. I've got 3 thumbs up so far. 4 thumbs up. Yeah, I see you're here, Connie. I've got my battery operated candle behind me tonight, so that's not going to bother me from breathing, you know, that candle smell and stuff. It just doesn't show up very well on the video because of the lighting in here, but yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not lighting scented candles anymore. It's either got to be unscented or the battery operated one. And there's Kathy Jackson. Hello, Kathy. How's Kathy this evening? I did a cake video today. I haven't got it uploaded yet because I've got to edit it. There's a lot of editing to do. And then I've got to upload it to YouTube, so it's not going to be able to be posted till sometime tomorrow. Good deal, Kathy. She says she's doing great. And Connie says, not good at all. I'm sorry to hear that, Connie. Connie's dealing with a lot of health issues right now. Y'all need to keep her in your prayers. I know, Susan. I'm sorry. I made y'all chase me tonight. I was really trying to go through StreamYard, but it wouldn't connect for some reason. It went live on StreamYard, but it did not connect to YouTube. And I don't know why it did not do that. We've got 14 watching. Yeah, that's me. Even on my bad days, I push forward and I try to make the best out of it. I'm just determined it's not going to get me down. Yeah, Connie's a nice lady. And she is kind. And I have not started taking my Christmas decorations yet down. And I need to get that started so I can have them down this weekend because it might get even colder next week. It's been pretty nice these couple of days, so better than the alternative. Yeah, we're all better off the way we are than the alternative, you know. Silly Cat says, when I reach 100 cats, I'm going to give them away. Too hard to deal with. I know what you're saying. I've only got that one little buddy that comes in and out, and he drives me nuts sometimes. But I love him. And he would eat 2 or 3 cans of cat food a day if you fed it to him. So I will feed him 1 can a day. I'll mix it in with his dry food so he gets that twice a day. And in the evening, I put dry food in his dish. He can eat the dry food. Because I don't want him to get fat, you know, because that's not healthy for him either. Took yours down Christmas Day. Well, a lot of times I'll leave mine up till after New Year's and then take them down the following week. But I'm debating whether to start taking them down tomorrow because I've got a lot in the yard, you know, to take down and pack away. Plus, I've got to straighten out the shed to where I can get it all packed in there neat to store it till next year. Because I've got my garden stuff in there too, so it's a mess right now. And there's Shatika. Hello, Shatika. Welcome. Your neighbors help feed them, but you can't move without stepping on a cat. I know what you mean. Little Buddy's just one cat, but he stays so close to my feet, walking around the house or the garden. I almost trip over him sometimes. I can't imagine what it would be like to have 60 or 70 cats, 80 cats even. Oh my God. I'd never be able to walk in the yard. We had 10 little puppies at one time. German Shepherd puppies years ago when we lived in North Carolina at the beach. They were beautiful little puppies. They looked like little teddy bears. But all I had to do was open the back door and they swarmed my ankles. And I'd open the car door to get in and they were jumping in the car. They were a handful. I mean, they were so adorable. I wanted to keep all 10 of them. But, you know, you can't keep the whole litter of dogs. I mean, it's impossible. I could not feed that many dogs. And my husband at the time would have had a fit if I'd have said we were going to keep all of them. The wind's blowing outside right now. I don't know how it'll be tomorrow. It was a little on the chilly side, but I've been running in and out in just my shirt. You know, I didn't put a sweater or anything on my arms. I only show, let's see, 10 thumbs up, and there's 16 people watching. So there's about 6 people that have not hit the thumbs up yet. They may be silent viewers, so you never know. But I wanted to start out by showing something else that came in the mail today. I had opened it already. It's a, and I've never seen one like this. It's for your allergies. And it's something that plugs into the wall outlet. And it's got a little button here you push to turn it on. And there's 2 or 3 settings. But it's supposed to do something to the air, like purify the air or something, that helps your allergies, you know, helps calm your allergies down. And that's from the anonymous giver. But they had to order a plug-in converter, because this is a European plug. You can see how that is. It's two rounded ones and they're far apart than ours is. So they ordered a converter to plug this into, and then so I can plug it into my outlet. So it should be here pretty soon. But I'm anxious to try that. You know, anything that'll work to help calm my allergies down, I'm for. So, but I appreciate that. I appreciate all the gifts that anyone sends me. And I've got so many people that say they want to send gifts. They send me, well, I can't get this thing closed now. They send me messages under the video that I do, telling me that how to send me something. You know, how can they send something to me? And I keep telling them, I message back and tell them to send an email to the email in the chat, in the description. And I've even put, well, hi, Too Tall Rob. Hello, how was your Christmas? But I tell them to send me an email, and I'll return it with my address, and they can go ahead and mail whatever it is they want to mail to me. Or if they want to give money or something, you know, there's links under in the description of all the videos of where they can do that. But so far, there's been very few of them that respond by sending me an email. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm offering to send you my address, but you've at least got to send me an email to let me know who you are, because I really didn't want to post my personal resident address on YouTube. I mean, I may eventually do that, but right now I'd rather not do that. And I had a post office box, and the whole 3 months I had the post office box, nobody sent me anything, not even a letter or a card or anything. So I said I can't afford to pay for the post office box when no one's using it. So if you want to send me something, look at the Gmail email address that's in the description. Send me a letter. Tell me that you need my mailing address, and I'll send it to you. I mean, that's not too much to ask of someone, I think. So anyway. Oh, the joys of technical issues during the holidays. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Sorry I wasn't around. Had my hands full with lots of things around. I'm sure you did have your hands full, Too Tall Rob. Well, you know, I did that, and I'd paid for the post office box for 3 months. After people wanted my address, they wanted to know how to send me something. Well, I paid for the post office box. I had it set up so if the box, you know, the package or whatever was in the mail was too big to put in the box, that they would deliver it to my residence. No one ever used it for 3 whole months. No one used that post office box. And then after I get rid of it, everybody wants to know my mailing address. So, you know, I can't afford to pay for a post office box if it's not going to be used. And I paid for it for 3 months, and no one ever used it. So, if I knew people would use it, I'd go ahead and rent it again. But like I said, I can't afford to pay for it and just let it sit there and not use it. So I canceled it, and I decided they could just send me an email. I'd send them my mailing address, and they could send me whatever they wanted to send me. Yeah, well, like I said, Too Tall Rob, I set up a post office box after people were asking me for an address. No one used it. No one ever used that post office box for 3 whole months. And then after I cancel it a month later, everybody's wanting my mailing address. So what are you going to do? I can't afford to pay for it every single month and it not be used. I'm not making enough money off of my videos yet. I don't have that many viewers. And my lives that I do, if they have music on them or anything, I don't get paid for those either. Like the Christmas show that I did, they will not monetize that because of the music. It's copyrighted, so they won't put ads on that video, so I don't get paid for it. But you know, I didn't do that particular video to get paid. I did it as a gift, a Christmas gift to all my subscribers and my viewers. So, but that's the way they got it set up. Some artists don't mind you using their music. They'll share the copyright with you. You know, they'll let you monetize your channel or that video. They get a percentage of the money, and then I get a percentage. We share it. But that whole Christmas CD could not be monetized. They don't even want to share what money could be made off of that video. Now, there was one or two songs in the beginning that were okay, but because they would not monetize the 16 Christmas songs on that CD, they would not put ads on any of the video. So I'm not making money off of that Christmas video. I'm just making the ones, you know, money off of the ones that they put ads on. Silly Cat says, I will pay for it. Well, it seems like it was about $60, $70 for 3 months. And you know, over a year's time, that adds up to quite a bit of money. But like I said, you know, I'll get it and then no one will use it. And I've got over 600 videos. I'd have to go back and put my mailing address on every one of them, or somehow change the way I've got my channel set up, I guess. Well, I've tried using some of YouTube's music that they claim you can use, and still it'll put ads on the video, but then they get a percentage of it, but they still copyright it. You know, I mean, I've had several of my videos done like that, even though it's music that YouTube says you can use. No, this is for a small post office box. It's for the smallest size they have that they charged me about $60, $70 for. I mean, nothing is cheap here. I mean, I've got the paperwork for it somewhere, probably in the other room behind the other computer, where I paid for it for 3 months. Because you've got to go ahead and prepay for 3 months at least to get it. And then you have to renew it by a certain date, or they'll cancel your post office box. So I don't know. I may try to get another one. I may not. But I wouldn't think it's too hard for people just to send me an email so I can send them my mailing address if they want to mail me something. Well, see, the way I had this post office box set up, if the packages were too big to put in the box at the post office, it was set up so they would go ahead and deliver it to my house. You know, you can get it set up that way. Or you can just have it set to where they deliver to the post office only. But I knew if some big packages came and they were too heavy for me to lift, I'd be in trouble because I don't have anybody to go to the post office to pick them up for me. So I've got to have it to where if they're big boxes, they will deliver it to the house. If it's smaller stuff, they'll just stick it in the post office box. Because I included my resident address in with the mailing address for the post office box. That way, so like I said, if it comes in and it's a box, they can't put it in the box at the post office. They'll look at that other address and they'll send it on to me. They'll give it to the mailman and he'll bring it to my house. I didn't even know you could do that when I first rented the box until I was reading it on the paperwork, where you could choose the option to do that. And I chose that because I knew that was the only way I could have a post office box. Yeah, but see, I still have to go to the post office, Too Tall Rob, to get it. And if it's a package that's heavy and I can't pick it up, then what am I going to do? Yeah, well, see, this town is supposed to be small town USA, but the city limits are not that far out. And thousands of people live outside of the city limits, and it's turned it into a big town. We have, let's see, a separate high school. We've got a ninth grade building just for ninth grade because there's so many ninth graders. We've got a middle school, an intermediate school, and then we've got an elementary school, and then we've got Acton School, middle school. We've got Acton Elementary. What else is there? Seems like there's one or two more, but they're all in the same county. So depending on what side of town you live on determines what school you go to that's closest to you. But it's all in the same county. So this is a big town. Don't be fooled by the advertisement that goes out saying small town USA. Because people that move here from big cities, they're disappointed when they move here. They love the town, but when they find out how big the school system is, how many people live here, they are shocked. I mean, they've already been talking about building another high school because they're busting at the seams with the high school we've got already. Ask your postmaster if you can receive packages under general delivery and then they can forward to your address and deliver. Well, I don't know. They'd probably tell me just to get a post office box and do like I was doing before. Because if they sent it general delivery, I don't know if I'd get it or not. I might or I may not. I don't know. Yeah, April is busy. Yeah, I just don't know what to do about that. I mean, if they would really use the post office box address, I would go ahead and get it, put it back up. But they never used it before. Everybody wanted a mailing address. A mailing address told me, you got to have a post office box. So I went and got one, posted it on my videos. And like I said, nobody used it. 3 months I paid for that post office box and no one used it. So what are you going to do? They either want to send something to you or they don't. And if they really want to send you something, they don't mind sending an email to me, to that email address, for me to send them my mailing address. Well, at least that's the way I feel about it. Because that's what everybody else has done that sends me anything. Even my cards come to my home address because they sent me an email to get that address. And I figure if they don't want me to have their email address, then they don't need my mailing address, right? I've been associated with some big channels as well, and I've been around YouTube for 10 years. I've seen some real sketchy with having your personal address out there as information. Yeah, I don't like doing that. There's too many crooks. Once they get your name, your mailing address, if they ever got hold of your phone number, they could do some damage because there's a lot of accounts, if they know how, they can get into. And I'm already having trouble with people scamming my credit card. I've only had my credit card canceled or had it canceled and got a new one probably 3 times in the last 6 months. I just got a new card yesterday, I think, because somebody out there tried to charge $104 on my account, and the credit card company refused it and then sent me a message asking me if I had just tried to charge $104, and I said no, it wasn't me. I said, I've been home, I haven't even had my card out of my billfold today. Hi, Paul's in the garden. How are you doing this evening? There's Mom. I got charged and convicted with identity theft. I used a credit card. A lady's purse got lost and her credit card got used trying to add time to my phone number. Oh my goodness. And you were charged for it because they thought you did it. Well, years ago, you could make collect calls, which you really don't do anymore. I mean, you can, but nobody usually does because most calls are free anyway. But years ago, when you could still make third-party collect calls, I had ladies that worked for me. I was a department manager at Walmart. And these ladies worked in my department for me. And all of a sudden, these phone calls started showing up on my phone bill. I mean, they were running my phone bill up triple. And finally, the phone company found out who it was. And they said, do you want to press charges? And I said, no, I don't really want to press charges on them. But I said, I want the calls to stop because I can't afford to pay for my calls and their calls. They need to pay for their own calls. So they stopped it. And you know what? I questioned them about it at work one of the days after that. And I said, what gave you the right to think you could charge your phone calls on my number? Well, we had to make calls and we couldn't pay for them. I said, well, I can't pay for your calls either. And I said, I hope you know that I did not press charges on you because you work for me. I said, if it'd been anybody else, you would have had criminal charges brought on you for doing that. So I advise you don't ever do it again, especially me or anyone else. Because next time you may not be as lucky. So... And they didn't work for me too much longer after that. They went elsewhere. It was one Mexican lady and then a younger teenage girl that was like 17, 18 years old that worked in my departments for me. And I think they were related. But it doesn't matter whether you can afford to make your phone calls or not. You don't charge them to someone else's phone number. Which, it's not that easy to do that nowadays. I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, nowadays, I know, a couple of years ago, I got a collect call come in. But at least what the phone companies do now, they call you and ask you if you want to accept charges for that person to call you on your number. And you got the right to refuse it or accept it. It's not like it used to be. You don't just put in a number and charge it to that phone number. And little buddy's at the door, so let me go let him in before he wears his claws out. He heard me talking and decided he had to come in the house. You got food in your dish. Go get it. Go get it. Well, I thought the cough drops and all this other stuff would help my coughing, but I know I should have went ahead and pressed charges against them, but I didn't. Just like that woman that worked at Comanche Peak Power Plant. All of a sudden, and this was after I was divorced. Me and my ex-husband had split up. I started getting these harassing calls. At first, it was just a call and a hang up. First, it was one or two a week, and then it got to be like every day, and then several times a day. And then they started getting bold and started threatening me. And it went on for a couple of months. Finally, I got so disgusted with it. This woman called me and she said, "You need to meet me somewhere, because when you do, you're not going to look as pretty as you do." Oh, you know what I told her? I said, "You know what? There's a swimming pool right at the end of my street. I'm halfway down the street. Be at that pool." And I gave her a time. It was about an hour later. I said, "Be down there at that time." And I said, "We'll see who's going to be pretty when you walk away." She hung up on me and she didn't call after that. Not as much, but she still called. But by then I had already turned her into the phone company, and they were tracing the calls, and they found out who she was and that she was using the company phone at Comanche Peak Nuclear Power Plant to call me, to harass me. And I didn't file charges on her. The phone company called me and asked me, they said, "We knew who done it. Do you want to press charges?" I said, "No, just stop the calls." So they reported her to the company that she worked for, whose phone she was using, and they gave her an ultimatum. If she wanted to keep her job, they were transferring her to another state. So as far as I know, she kept her job and she went to another state. And I was not bothered with her after that. Yeah, Jesus says I should forgive. I have issues with that at times, especially for a thief. Yeah, I do too, but I figured, it was better for me if I just had the phone company deal with it, get the call stopped, whatever it took, and just let it go. Too Tall Rob says, "Just for fun, Linda, you should play one of my live streams during the daytime of the birds and stuff on my credit cam for your cat and see what his reaction would." Yeah, I might do that. Critter cam, not credit. Okay, I might try that, Too Tall Rob. I stay so busy trying to do videos and stuff that I don't usually have time to do much else. My chest started aching a little bit last night from allergies, so I had to take a Benadryl. And you know what Benadryl does? It knocks you out. So I slept really late this morning. So I was late getting started and doing anything today. Hi, Alfonso. Hello, welcome. I bet it's cold in Colorado right now. Bear hugs to you too, Alfonso. Yeah, but I really didn't want to press charges and end up having to go to a court hearing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what would have been involved in all of it. Hi, guys. I'm having trouble typing, so mostly listening. Okay, Susan. As long as you're here, that's what matters. Have all of you got a big New Year's weekend planned for this coming weekend? I want to dispute the charges at the phone company, had them remove them from my bill before I paid them to make the criminal charges. Oh, I never paid any of the charges because I reported it to the phone company immediately. And they said they would check into it, that I did not have to pay that bill. And then they got back with me later and told me that they found out who made the calls. And they asked me if I wanted to press charges. But no, I did not have to pay that phone bill. I mean, it was well over $100 for charges that they, calls they made. I mean, I think they were just having a good time calling people at my expense. That's all it was. If it was an emergency call, you don't have to run up a $150 phone bill to make an emergency call. Yeah, I guess so. Well, like I said, I'm going to my son's house on the 31st, which is Sunday. And we're celebrating Christmas and New Year's at the same day. But I'll be home hopefully before dark. I'll leave his house probably about 5 and come on home. And my granddaughter will probably leave early too, because she don't need to be out driving later on in the evening. Well, used to, Alfonso, if you were somewhere and you needed to call someone and you couldn't pay for the call, you could call the operator and tell them you wanted to make a collect call. And you could give them the phone number you wanted the call charged to. And they put that phone number in the system and they put the call through, but the charges went through to the number that you're calling. But now, I mean, you can't do that easy anymore. You have to, they call the person and say, so-and-so is calling you. They want to make a collect call. Will you accept the charges? So you can say yes or no. If you say no, they can't make the call. If you say yes, I'll accept, they put the call through, the charges go on your bill. But, it's not so much that way anymore with cell phones and stuff, because most of your calls are free. Even your long distance calls are free with your cell phones, so. Yeah, back in the day when you still had a house phone connected to the wall. I mean, I've still got a house phone, but I don't usually use it. It's just in a bundle with my internet and TV and Wi-Fi and everything else. But yeah, people that have cell phones usually have unlimited calling, so they have long distance calling included, so they don't pay extra for their calls unless they're limited on their minutes. And then if they use up their minutes, and then they start being charged. But I have unlimited on mine. And I use my phone every day for something, and I pay less for my phone now than I did 15 years ago. Yeah, that's true too, Tall Rob. I have Straight Talk, so mine is unlimited everything per month, and I always know what my bill is going to be. And little buddy wants back out. Let me go let him out. He comes in one door and then wants to go out the other. Yeah, things have changed a lot with technology over the years. And I mean, a lot of it, most of it is for the good. Let's play the game old school. Yeah. I mean, I've got too much to watch now, counting my own videos, trying to get them put together and edited and posted, to YouTube, plus the little bit that I watch. There's so much between TV and YouTube and other channels that you can get through Wi-Fi that I can't watch all of it. I mean, it's overload when it comes to things to watch. And 9 times out of 10, I'm watching something on YouTube, even movies on YouTube. But you know what? I accidentally, or I didn't accidentally, I turned the TV on the other night, and sometimes new channels will pop up. And guess what popped up at the top row, right in the corner? House. The Doctor. And I always loved to watch that show. In fact, one Christmas, my son bought me the whole series of House on CDs because he knew I loved to watch them. And it was a new series that had not been put on TV yet. And I still have it. And when I first clicked on it, on the picture to start watching them this past week, I figured, well, it's probably reruns of all the episodes that I've already seen. But guess what? No, it wasn't. Every episode I've watched for the last several days or week even have been episodes I've never seen before. So I've been enjoying watching House for a change when I get a chance, just to sit down, put my feet up, and forget about YouTube for a while. Before I go to bed, I've been watching House. Alfonso says, I don't recommend placing phone calls to heaven. It's so expensive that you can't afford to pay your bill. The cost is $1,000 for the first minute. Then after that, it's $100 a minute. You're better off praying. Oh my goodness. Well, do you reckon if you made a phone call to heaven, they would even have time to answer the phone? There'd be too many phone calls. A real good video I like is available on YouTube. The title is Into the West. The heart is blocking it. I've got to wait till it rolls up. I can't read the word behind it. Steven Spielberg is a 6-part miniseries or something. West by Steven. I'm going to jump off now. Have a blessed day. Bear hugs to y'all. Bear hugs to you, Alfonso. Sorry you got to leave. I guess we'll play trivia for a little while. Seemed like some want to play trivia tonight. Oh, God. Too tall, Rob. You're something else. I suspect if you're making a phone call to heaven, at those prices, it's probably phone sex operation out of Nevada. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, those phone sex lines are, I think, taking a lot of money from what I've understood. I've never been on one, never called one or nothing like that, but I've heard about them, and from what I understand, they charge pretty good to make a phone call for a few minutes. You have to put up your credit card before you get to talk to anybody. Don't say jump off when you're signing off. Somebody might make a 5150 on welfare check call on you. Well, from what I understand, they pretty well done away with welfare. I mean, you still have, you have to qualify for food stamps and stuff like that, but I don't know if people actually get a welfare check a month anymore like they used to years ago. From what I understand, they've stopped that. I mean, I don't know. I've never been on welfare, so I don't know how it works. Silly Cat says, I've been done with sex for years. I knew it. Bartender named Destiny Herman. Mother's name was Faith. Her sister's name was Hope and Charity. You're too much, too tall, Rob. Yeah, Alfonso, have a blessed night if you have to leave us. I'm hoping to go live sometime this weekend. I don't know. Since I'm going to my son's house on Sunday, the 31st, I don't know what time I'll get back. So I'm not scheduling one for Sunday. I may schedule, well, no. But I will get on live sometime that night when I get home and have some type of a New Year Eve celebration thing going on. I'm not going to be singing or nothing like that, but I'll have a New Year's Eve live sometime that night when I get home. I need a rocking chair, no sex. I hear you. So how many people online right now want to play trivia? I'm going to let the majority rule. Gladys says me. I know Gladys always wants to play. Who else? And I've already got messages that some people want sunflowers from my really pretty sunflower out in the garden that's got so many flowers on it. And, you know, I put tulle around several of the flowers to get the seeds. And I promised them I'd send them some seed to remind me of it. But if I get enough of the seeds from that plant, I may give some of those seeds away in trivia some night. Nobody else wants to play? Yeah, Susan's got a cast on her wrist, so she's not going to be able to type very well. And I know Gladys doesn't type very fast. My father, I'll roll up a big fat joint and I'll play trivia for a little bit. Oh, you don't do that. Too tall, Rob. You know you don't. You might roll you a regular cigarette. Connie says, my father-in-law called a psychic every day. He ran up the phone bill to $7,000. My mother was so angry he believed that psychic stuff. Well, you know, I actually worked as a psychic one time, online, on the phone. And I had a lot of people calling me. The only thing I finally stopped is because I had this one guy starting to call me. Wanted me to come visit him on his ranch. And he said, if you ever come down here, you'll stay, and this, that, and the other. But then one thing led to another, and he started getting pretty vulgar. And I couldn't deal with the vulgarity of the conversations with him. So I stopped doing it. I said, I can't deal with that kind of stuff. I don't feel right talking with a complete stranger that way, and I quit doing it. Really? I've never heard that, Too Tall Rob. I never heard that it was illegal to grow a sunflower. Why would it be illegal to grow sunflowers? I mean, they grow wild some places. I would love to know why they would consider them illegal. They're beautiful flowers. I hope you figure out how to. I hope you figure out how to speech to text Susan. You will enjoy it. I never do the speech text thing. I always just type in my message. But I could see where it would come in for Gladys, and be real handy for Susan right now to be able to do that, because she could speak her answers and YouTube would just put them up in chat for her. Some cities in Kansas, it's illegal. Oh no, Too Tall Rob. Well, I don't do any of that stuff. We don't do that kind of stuff. And yes, I will smoke weed with Willie every time on the bus. Yeah, I can't see how it would be illegal to grow a sunflower. And sunflowers are what, Kansas state bird? I mean, state flower. I wouldn't doubt it. Willie Nelson's been around. Google doesn't like your accent, Annie. Reread what I put up. Sunflower is Kansas state flower. Is that the one you want me to read? Well, we don't. And I don't want to, so. Yeah, so I don't see how it could be illegal to. I've never heard of that it was illegal to grow a sunflower anywhere. I use the weed for medical purpose nowadays more than. Well, there's a lot of people out there that do Too Tall Rob. Because some physical ailments that they have, that's the only thing helps with the pain. And I can understand that. But you do have to have a doctor's prescription to be able to have it in your possession, from what I understand. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and start on a little bit of trivia. And it'll just be for fun tonight, since Susan can't type very well. Gladys can't type very well. We're just going to do it for fun. No, he was saying that sunflowers were illegal to grow. Period. I don't think he mentioned where. Let me try this prescription. Well, you know, years ago, before it started becoming real popular for medicine, for pain medicine, there was a big write-up in the news in Dallas where they arrested this little old lady for growing marijuana in her backyard. And I don't remember where she went to the doctor at. It might have been Mexico. It might have been in Texas. I don't know. But she went to the doctor and she needed pain medication. Well, nothing he had given her up till that point helped. So he ended up giving her a little jar full of seeds. Didn't tell her what it was. He just said, here, take these seeds, plant them in your backyard, and said you will have all the pain medication you will need. And I guess he told her what to do with it. Well, she planted it in her backyard, and she had beautiful plants growing, and she was using it for her pain, and she was feeling great. But she did get arrested. Somebody turned her in for growing marijuana, and she didn't know it was illegal. She didn't know it was marijuana. And I don't know if they dropped the charges on her because of her age and because she didn't know what it was and the fact that the doctor gave her the seeds or what happened with her. But yeah, it was big news at the time, but it's been several years ago. I know depending on what computer you're watching, it can be delayed, Susan. I've noticed that. Just from my phone to my laptop, there is a little bit of a delay. It's a couple of seconds delay in what shows up on the laptop according to what is recorded at that particular time. Susan says, I'm doing the top type to talk type thing if I could speak right. Well, there's no telling what it might type in for me with my southern accent. Well, years ago, alcohol and tobacco was illegal. And then finally you could smoke cigarettes and it was not illegal anymore. And back in the bootlegging days, alcohol was illegal. You'd go to jail if you were caught with alcohol or selling it or making it, even for your own use. And then it came to be that where alcohol was finally legalized. So, years ago, I told people, I said, well, the way our world is, I said, in the years to come, marijuana and a lot of these drug type plants and things out there are going to be legalized. They'll have to because so many people are using it. Some cities and counties of Kansas, it is illegal to grow the sunflower. It is an agricultural plant. Well, I don't live in Kansas, and it's not illegal to grow it in Texas, so I'm growing mine. If I plant my seeds and they come up, I'm growing them. Yeah, I can't imagine a state flower being illegal to grow. Now, we have the bluebonnets here for Texas, and it's illegal to cut them down or dig them up or, destroy them in any way. You can get fined. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Sometimes it misinterprets what you say according to your accent and the way you speak. I said, it's no telling what voice to text would do to me. Okay, we're going to get started. And this is old school. Okay, if you received the word from the bird, what would this mean? If you received the word from the bird, what does it mean? Do what? It's not cool. Bird is the word. That's what I said. Bird is the word. If somebody told you bird is the word, what are they telling you? Damn if I know, Kathy says. We've been through this old school stuff one time before, and we went through this question. Gladys doesn't want to lose her points. So you want me to start where we left off last time? So you'll keep your points from last time? Is that what she's saying, Gladys? Okay. Well, I'm going to say Gladys got it closest to being right, because if they were telling you the word from the bird, that means they're telling you the truth. And he says not truth. It is the truth. Word from the bird means they're telling you the truth. And Silly Cat says the finger. I know y'all slept since we played last. But word from the bird means they're telling you the truth. Okay. What did the phrase cut the gas refer to? If somebody told you cut the gas, what are they telling you? Turn it off. Annie, you're right. It's basically they're telling you to stop talking or shut up. Gladys got it. Shut up. And you got it as turn it off. Not farting. Paul's in the garden. Y'all are crazy. Oh, I tell you. My chest cleared up from yesterday, but I still got that cough. Paul wasn't going to say it. They're basically telling you to shut up. I'm sorry for having the cough. I'm telling you, this is terrible. If you're playing backseat bingo, what were you doing? We're past that one, Connie. Not kissing. You're getting close, though. I turn away from the microphone so that the germs can't come through the mic out to you, I guess. Gladys got it. Sexing. They're having sex. Or if somebody said you were playing backseat bingo, they're telling you that you were having sex in the back seat. I figured Gladys would get that. Another damn if I know. What did the term ankle biters refer to? What did the term ankle biters refer to? I did a lot of that. Damn if I need another internet virus. Too tall, Rob, you just got me laughing so hard it made me cough worse. Oh. None of us need any more internet viruses. Silly Cat got it right. It means child or children. Whew. Oh. You had me laughing so hard it started making stuff move in my chest. That's what got me coughing. I know I'm giggling. I can't help it. I'm reading these comments and they're cracking me up. Oh. Small dog thought it was a pit bull. If I was breathing your secondhand smoke, Too Tall Rob, I'd probably end up with bronchitis. Because I'm highly allergic to any of that. My son, when he was like 14 and his little girlfriend was 15, all he wanted for Christmas that year was to go to the, I think it was Metallica that was playing at Reunion Grounds up in Fort Worth or Dallas. And he says, Mom, if you'll just take me and Michelle to see Metallica, he said, you don't have to get me anything else. I just want to go hear them live. They're playing up there, you know, between now and Christmas. So I found a friend of mine kind of to help go with me as a bodyguard, you know, because I was afraid to take the kids up there by myself. Well, he went with us. And I took them up to see Metallica that night. And I enjoyed the concert, don't get me wrong. But we were sitting up on the second bleachers. People were underneath us. People that were sitting below were smoking joints. And you know what was happening? All their smoke was coming up to where we were. And we were breathing it. It made me so sick. Oh my God. I told him, I said, I didn't know it was going to be like that, because I had never been to one of the concerts where they were smoking stuff like that, you know. Actually, it was the first really big concert that you had to buy tickets to go to like that I'd ever been to. Or I may have had second thoughts about taking them. But yeah, we sat up there, we listened to the concert, we watched it all, we enjoyed the heck out of the concert. But when it came time to leave, Dan, the guy that went with me, that I asked to go with me, had to take me by the arm and literally help me down the steps. I couldn't walk straight. It made me so sick. I was sick all the way home. I was sick when I got home. And I said, well, I'll never go to another concert like that. And if I ever do, I'll be on the ground floor. I'm not going to be sitting above anyone else. Contact high. It made me sick because I'm allergic to it, evidently. I'm allergic to cigarettes, just regular tobacco. So, but years later, after my kids moved out, I think, yeah, I know it was after my kids left out and I was here by myself. My friend that lived back here behind me at the time, because he built a house behind me, he was single. He was over here one day and he said, have you ever been to a concert? I said, no. He said, well, they've got that big concert, Texas Jam, up at the stadium tonight. We need to go. I said, well, it's probably sold out. He said, yeah, probably, but he said, I bet we could get in. And we were already driving up around Fort Worth by the time he even told me this. And I think he had it planned to begin with. He really wanted to go, and he got me to go to Fort Worth with him. And after we got up there, he was saying, have you ever been to a big concert? And I said, no. I said, well, they're having that big Texas Jam at the, what was it, Cotton Bowl or whatever they call that big football stadium. The old one, not the new stadium that they built. And so we went on up, to see if we get tickets. We found a place to park blocks away. I mean, we had to walk probably 4 or 5 blocks to get to the entrance of the stadium. And about 3 blocks away, all of a sudden you started smelling this funny stuff in the air. And I said, oh my God, what is that we're smelling? He said, they're smoking joints in the stadium, and that's how much is being smoked that you can smell it 3 blocks away. And I said, oh my God, aren't they afraid they're going to go to jail? He said, there's cops in the stadium. But he said, they ain't going to arrest no one. He said, if they tried to arrest even one person in there, they'd be mobbed by thousands of people in there. They'd never get out. So we got up to the ticket stand, and he didn't get the tickets at first, but he turned and he came back over toward me. He said, do you have any money? I said, well, I told him, I said, I've only got about $40 cash. He said, well, let me have it. And I said, what do you mean? He said, let me have it. They're not going to let us in without more money. So he took what he had and the $40 I gave him, and they gave him tickets. And we got in. And there, you didn't have us, like a second tier. Everybody was in the ground level seats, even though it gradually went up. And we sat down. We got in there and found some seats that were empty and sat down. And all of a sudden, the people around us were passing joints around. One came my way, and I just kind of leaned back and let it go by me to the guy I was with, and he took it and passed it on down. That happened several times. And finally we got up and moved to another section and sat down. Same thing happened. Well, we kept moving around because I don't think we had like an assigned seat. It was just like general admission or something, to where you could just get wherever you found a spot. But we kind of moved around, but I enjoyed that concert so well. They had this sound and light spectacular toward the end of it that was phenomenal. I mean, it was unreal. They do all that at the Texas Speedway now since it's built, because they have more room up there. It's bigger. Look at Kathy's answer. That's Connie, but never mind. Let it go. Who is she talking to? Yeah, we're going to stop talking about that and get back to our trivia. But that was my experience with that. I don't smoke that kind of stuff. I'm highly allergic to it. It makes me sick. Okay, what did the term daddy-o refer to? Well, it was dad, but they called it something else too. I mean, it wasn't just simply DAD. What did the term daddy-o refer to? Term to address a man. Well, yeah, that's kind of so, but what kind of dad? I mean, what were they telling him he was? This was back in the hippie day. When they call someone daddy-o, what were they telling that person? Not boyfriend, not best dad, not honey bunny, not great dad, the man. The man is kind of almost getting there, but not quite, Gladys. No, not dude. The man is kind of there, but he was a hip dad, yeah. He was hip or cool when you call someone daddy-o. So Connie got that one. What did the phrase burning rubber mean? Kathy, wait a minute. Yeah, I can give Kathy a point for that. She said the man, that's kind of like, yeah, he's cool. So Kathy's got a point for that as well. Spinning tires, driving off fast. Annie got that because it's a fast drive off, yeah. So Annie Watson got that. What TV show has, what TV show host said, you get a car and you get a car? Well, didn't I give her the point for that? Yeah, I see it now. I didn't see it at first. Sorry about that, Kathy. I'll give you another point for that one. Because the chat flew by and I didn't go back far enough to see that. Sorry about that. It looks like Gladys got it. She said Oprah. It was Oprah Winfrey that said it. You get a car and you get a car. So Gladys has got that point. I have to take in that she can't type very well. She has problems typing on the keyboard, so I know she meant Oprah Winfrey, though. And Shelley Edwards came in second. This duo was famously known as the Coreys. This duo was famously known as the Coreys. Who were they? I gave Kathy a point. I went back and found it and I gave her a point. So she's got a point for saying kid. Yeah, I just got to chatting too much and wasn't paying attention to the chat. Yeah, don't leave upset if that's why you were leaving. It was an honest mistake, but it was on my part. Who was the duo that was famously known as the Coreys? Connie got it. Corey Feldman and Corey Hams. I never would have known who they were without looking at this card. I did a spray before I started the live, y'all. I think when I go back to my doctor, I have my regular checkup, I think in February, the end of February. I'm going to ask him for one of those inhalers. He gave me one a couple of years ago, but the first time I used it, it burnt so bad I couldn't breathe. I mean, I've never had that kind of burning in my lungs before, all down my throat. So I was afraid to use it after that. And I told him about it. Because he asked me, he said, well, what happened the second time you used it? I said, I never tried it the second time. I said, it burnt so bad the first time, I was afraid to use it the second time. And I found out over the years since then that it burnt that bad because that's how bad I needed it. Because a friend of mine said, it burnt me. Hold on. some of these telemarketers is somebody calling me on the house phone and had some kind of static going on the phone call. I mean, I don't know what that was. I'm going to end up just totally disconnecting that house phone, I think. Keep it on my plan to get my rate lower, but just unplug the phone. But yeah, she told me, she said, well, that's the way it was with me when I first got the inhaler. First time I used it, it burnt really bad. But after the second time, it didn't burn that much. And then the third time, it didn't burn. So he said, that's how bad you needed it. So see, if I'd have known that, I would have kept using it. But I didn't keep using it, so I don't get it anymore. So I'm going to ask him to go ahead and write me another prescription for one, I think. You're welcome, Kathy. It was an honest mistake. What did it mean if you were square? Yeah, I'm sorry, Kathy. I didn't realize I had overlooked that. When I glanced up, the first right one I saw was the other person. I didn't scroll back on the chat to see you were the first one. Not cool. Annie got that right. Not cool. It means you're not cool. Somebody told you were square years ago. You're not cool at all. Okay, what does the phrase 10-4 mean? Yeah, you're just a normal person, or you're a drag. They would say you're not fun, or you're not up with things. Yeah, a dull person. But the next question is, what does the phrase 10-4 mean? No, it's not copy that, because you can say 10-4 or you can say copy that. So those are two different phrases in that language. That means they acknowledge you. Kathy got that one. I know I was a CBer when I first came to Texas. My handle was the Duchess. And I got rid of my radio because I never used it once I moved to Texas. So, because I only really used it to communicate with my ex-husband when we were married. And after we were divorced, I really had no need for it. Yeah, message received. It meant that they hear you loud and clear. It was used in CB language, so to speak, on the CB radio. Charlie's golden ticket gave him a chance to go where? Okay, Kathy. Come back if you can. Charlie's golden ticket gave him a chance to go where? Yeah, we'll try to behave. Not to the top, Gladys. Yeah, if you can't come back, have a good night, but try to come back if you can. My 1020 is Granbury, Texas. Connie got it. It was to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, which is basically the same as what Gladys said, Candyland. But I've got to give it to Connie because she got the whole complete answer. Not just candy. It was the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, and that's the answer. So Connie got it. Okay. If I told you to sit on it, what am I telling you? What does the phrase sit on it mean? No, I said Granbury, Granbury. Annie got it. Shut up. They're telling you to shut up. Well, hi, Mary. Welcome. Okay, when a person was out to lunch, what did that mean? If you said somebody was out to lunch, what would it mean? No, this is a slang. It's not like going to lunch to eat lunch. This is another phrase. It's a slang phrase back in the hippie days. If somebody said that person was out to lunch, what are they saying? They're not sleeping. It could be out of it. So far, Annie got the best answer. And then Gladys come in second. Too Tall Rob come in third. I've got to give it to Annie because it's out of it. They're not there. You know, they're they're very confused or slow. Slow-witted, as they call it. I know y'all have heard that before. So I'm giving that to Annie. Okay. Okay, silly cat. If somebody said the term gnarly, what did it mean? The term gnarly meant what? Gnarly. Gnarly, or I can't say it right. I think Shelley got that. Yep, Shelley Edwards got it. Cool. They were very cool or impressive. Yep, but Connie or Shelley got it first. She said cool. Shelley came in first, then Paws in the Garden, Too Tall Rob. Yay, Shelley. In what year did Marvin Gaye, I Heard It Through the Grapevine? What year did Marvin Gaye, I guess he's saying, I heard it through the grapevine. Not 80, not 74. Connie got it, 1968. Okay, if you were said to be bogarting bogarting something, what were you doing? If you were said to be bogarting something, what are you doing? I'm going to give it to Gladys. She said holding. Because it meant holding on to something, not sharing with anyone. You were holding it for yourself. So I'm going to give that to Gladys. Okay, everybody ought to know this one. What are the slang words bear, smoky, or the fuzz used for? What were the slang words bear, smoky? Shelley Edwards got it, cops. Annie come in second. Mary came in third. Paws in the Garden fourth. Too Tall Rob come in fifth. Okay. To psych someone out meant what? To psych someone out meant what? Annie got that one, to fool someone. It's to fool or trick someone, BS someone. But Annie got it first, so. Okay, this is a true or false question. Perry Mason, a TV character, was a criminal prosecutor. True or false? Perry Mason was a TV character. He was a criminal prosecutor. Pause in the, wait a minute, Silly Cat got it first, it's false. He was actually a criminal defense lawyer, not a criminal prosecutor. He was a defense lawyer. He was the opposite. Okay, what does it mean to dig something? What does it mean to dig something or someone? And he got that again. It was like. You like or understand something. Y'all ought to know this. True or, well, I'm going to wait a minute. Because, oh my God. I'm going to be eating my weight in cough drops. But we all know this. It's true or false. Hopscotch. Well, hello, Hopscotch. I don't know that I've seen you before, but I'm glad you came by and to be with us. It's just my tickling throat. My throat feels fine. It's just I got that tickle going on in there now. I didn't ask the question yet, guys. How are you saying true or false, T or F, when I haven't asked the question? I'm going to go on to another one because I never asked the question yet. So I'm not going to let those T's or F's work. Y'all should know this. It was a popular band. You're going to fill in the blank. Earth, wind, and what? Earth, wind, fire. Connie got it. Simon and Garfunkel's iconic album is called Bridge Over what? Simon and Garfunkel's iconic album is called Vic Power, Troubled Waters. I don't think I've seen Vic Power in here before either. Welcome. Glad you could stop by to see us. I hate to be the one to say I think it's rigged. What's rigged? Our trivia game? No, the first one to put the right answer up, there's the one that gets the point. Connie got it for Troubled Waters. I think it was Connie. Wait a minute. Let me go back. I don't know how you think it could be rigged. We got Blue Rose Gator Granny in. Hello. Vic Power says, I think you need to act as a mediator. I do sometimes. Don't be mistaken and never take me too seriously. I don't take you seriously, Rob. Now I'm going to go back to the true or false. Do not put true or false up there until I ask the question. Okay? We're just having fun tonight. I mean, we're not being serious about anything. Can give Annie a point for fire. Well, Connie, you got the right answer first. Vic Power came in second. Annie came in third. Mary Zener come in fourth. Shelley fifth. Hopscotch sixth. My eyes are weak. I'm going to go into bed. Good night. Well, I'm sorry you're leaving us, silly cat. You can stay and listen. But I'm glad that you stopped by. And if you are leaving us, have a good night. True or false? Patrick Swayze was a trained ballet dancer. True or false? Patrick Swayze was a trained ballet dancer. Hopscotch got it. True. Whoop whoop. Hopscotch. Really, I'm sleepy. Well, we understand, silly cat. Get some rest. Maybe you can come back next time. I may try to have, I don't know. I'll wait and see. Because like I said, I wanted to go live New Year's Eve night. Because I usually go live at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But since I'm not going to be home, I can't go live at 3. But I plan to try to go live that night later. And bring in the new year with everybody, hopefully. Because, you know, even if it gets late, we can still be live and we can all bring in the new year together. Yeah, have a blessed night, silly cat. The Vactician investigated Shirley Temple to see if she was a dwarf. Is that true or false? The Vactician investigated Shirley Temple to see if she was a dwarf. Hopscotch got it. Wait a minute. Nope. That's an F. Annie got it. It's true. It's absolutely true. Because, yeah, I first thought that Hopscotch put a T there, but I see it's an F. I had to look real close. But it is true. Who were the Fab Four? Yeah, she did. She was such a good singer and so little they thought she was a dwarf. Vic Power, the Beatles, you've got it. They were the Fab Four. Okay, here's the next one. Yeah, she was when she first started singing. She was just a little girl. And she was such a singer back when she first started. They all thought she was a dwarf. They didn't realize she was just a little girl. Learn something new every day. I do too, Vic Power. I always tell people you're never too old to learn something new because, I learn something new all the time. If you were told to take a chill pill, what did that mean? If you told someone to take a chill pill, Vic Power got it, relax. Vic Power got that one. No, wait a minute. Yeah, he got it. Vic Power got relax. Hopscotch got calm down. Annie Watson said relax, but Vic Power got it first. What percentage of boomers support the same-sex marriage? A, 30%, B, 40%, or C, 20%? First one to get it right, I'll give them the point. Nobody's got it yet. What percentage of boomers support the same-sex marriage? A, 30%, B, 40%, C, 20%. Annie got it, 40%. She said B. What year did the Cold War end? What year did the Cold War end? Not 1997. Not 1946. Not 63. Not 52. Not 96. Annie got it, 1991. Yay, Annie. What is a beatnik? What is a beatnik? A hippie. Well, he was a hippie. What did the hippie stand for? I mean, I'll give it to Annie as being a hippie. Because they were considered hippies, but they were also, here, I'll read the answer. A subculture in the 50s through the 60s that rejected mainstream values, experimented with drugs, and were heavily influenced by jazz music. That's what a beatnik is. They were not asking what a hippie was, but that's probably the closest you're going to get to what I was asking. I'm on a hot streak. How were the members of the Carpenters related? Were they husband and wife? B, brother and sister? C, cousins? How were the members of the Carpenters related? B, brother and sister. Vic Power got it. BS. Okay, this is like radio talk. If somebody asked you what your handle was, what are they asking you? When it came to radio talk or CB language. Annie said name. Annie got it. They are asking you what your name is on the radio. Everybody has like a fake name. Like mine was the Duchess. My ex-husband's name was the Dutchman. Because you didn't ever put your real name up there. Okay, how much money will boomers inherit in the next 20 years? This is A, B, or C. A, 500 billion. B, 2 trillion. C, 15 trillion. How much money will boomers inherit in the next 20 years? Annie got it again. C. Let's see, 5, 10. Mardell is still ahead, and she's not even here. But Gladys caught up. She's catching up. She's only 1 point ahead of, or 2 points ahead of Gladys. And then Annie comes up next. Kathy. Okay, bell bottoms were what in the 1960s? Bell bottoms were what in the 1960s? What kind of pants? Sailor wide pants. I'm going to give it to Vic. They were actually bell-bottom pants. They were flared at the bottom around your ankles. But that's kind of the way the sailor pants are. So I'm giving it to Vic Power. Oh, Hopscotch, I'm sorry to see you go. Glad you could drop in. Maybe you can come back to our next live. This is an A, B, or C question. Hopscotch, you leaving too? Oh, you say you think the delay in your internet is not to your favor. Well, that could be true. I know I've been in lives playing games like this, and I'd come in right as someone else popped in ahead of me. It was almost like we were coming in at the same time. And it caused me to come in second. What was Tony Nelson's job in the I Dream of Jeannie? Was he an astronaut, B, a general, C, an engineer? What was Tony Nelson's job? I think Vic Power got it because he was an astronaut. That's A was astronaut. He was an astronaut in that show. Don't you remember I Dream of Jeannie, where she was actually the genie that could do magic, and she lived in an apartment with the astronaut? Oh no, you don't do that, Connie. You got to close out and come back in about every 5 minutes. Because it seems like my internet is doing fine. So I guess whatever the problem you're having is on your end. I know it's delayed just a couple of seconds. Because I can look at the camera versus the screen on the laptop, and the laptop video coming through, the replay, is just a couple of seconds delayed. Okay, what happened to Nancy Kerrigan before the 1994 Women's Championship? What happened to Nancy Kerrigan before the 1994 Women's Championships? She got hit in the leg. Shelley got it. She actually got clubbed in the knee by an associate of Tanya Harding. Man, those women didn't play fair, did they? They were going to eliminate their competition. Yeah, I know. Usually you do have a few seconds delay in a live stream. Are y'all getting tired or you want to keep going? Sports injury, yeah. But it was caused by a person hitting her. Yeah, where somebody takes a club and hits you in the knee, probably as hard as they could swing. That's more than a sports injury. I don't think women have ever played fair. Sometimes men don't play fair either. But women can get downright dirty and mean, I tell you. I know that. Too Tall Rob says, I just poured a fresh cup of coconut rum coffee. I scored in Aldi's and I'm game for a moment. I'm sure she was. I'm very sure that Tanya got charged for assault. I mean, I don't remember hearing about it in the news, but I'm sure she got charged for assault, hitting her with that bat or whatever it was she hit her with. Plus, she got penalized by the sports, the head of the sports, whatever it is. She got in trouble with her coach, I'm definitely sure. She may have, I don't remember, Vic Power. She may have went to jail for it. But that was assault. And you know good and well she got charged. Olympic Committee, yeah. She got penalized by the Olympic Committee for doing that. She could have even won that night, but she probably would have forfeited her win because of what she did. Well, as hard as she hit her, she probably wasn't able to kick her back. Okay, everybody ought to know this. What is liquid paper? Vic Power got it. It was correction fluid. Because back then they didn't have correction tape on the typewriters or anything. You couldn't back up and erase what you just typed in. All they had was the liquid paper. And they used it for your writing on paper, you know, just handwriting on paper as well if you were writing in ink. Whiteout. Yeah, it was also called whiteout. What show is Lucille Ball famous for? Gladys, you should know this. Annie got it. I Love Lucy. I know. I used to watch it quite a bit. And even today, sometimes I'll accidentally come across it on the channels and I might watch an episode of it. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the good shows considering all the options we had. We didn't have many channels way back then and didn't have that many TV shows on. Yeah, I know I'm coughing a lot. I probably should rest my throat some because I've been talking off and on for about a little over 2 hours. You stumbled across Starkey and Hutch. I used to watch them all the time. But I love watching House. I've been watching just episode after episode of him late at night when I can sit down and put my feet up and just relax before I go to bed. I watch 3 or 4 episodes of House before I go to bed since his channel just popped up. Yeah, since we've been on for 2 hours already, I think yeah, House is cool. My son knew I always loved to watch House when he first came out. He asked me one time, he says, "Mom, what do you like so much about House?" I said, "I think it's because of his arrogant attitude and the fact that he's always right. I mean, it's just the way he presented himself that I thought was so neat." And there's Kathy back. Okay, we asked this one time before. What did a school's register book contain? What did a school's register book contain? Did y'all read Too Tall Rob's comment? He says, "I've learned not to keep my Geritol near where I mix my coffee. It does not make a good creamer." And he got it. It's attendance. That was as bad as me before I had my eye surgery and I went home to my mom's on vacation back when she was still alive. And I went in and took a shower, shampooed my hair and everything, and was drying off. And I forgot to bring my body lotion in there, and I wanted to put a little bit of just moisturizing cream on my face. And I couldn't read real close up. And I picked up a bottle that was on her sink counter that I thought was lotion. and I put it on my face. Well, about an hour later, all of a sudden my face was itching. It was turning red. Man, I couldn't stand it. I was about ready to start scratching my face. And I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, what kind of lotion is that you've got in the bathroom on the sink? She said, I don't have any lotion on the sink. I said, there's something in there in that bottle I thought was hand lotion or body lotion. She said, that's not lotion, it's soap. I said, oh my God, that's why my face is burning and itching. I put soap on my face thinking it was hand lotion or body lotion because I couldn't read the small print. So I went in there and washed my face real good, and then I was okay. But I learned my lesson. If you can't read what's in that bottle or that container, don't use it. You know, there's no telling what you might be getting hold of. I put an air in my brother's shampoo bottle. It was, oh no. Oh my God. Did he lose all of his hair? Well, just part of it. Vic Power, you're welcome. Come back anytime to any of my lives. You're welcome. I left icy hot patch on my back in the shower. Don't ever do that. It hurt so bad for hours. Oh no. I've never done that. Your poor brother. I can't imagine. That was kind of like, well, it wasn't as bad as what my brother did to me, but my brothers had been frog gigging the day before or the night before. And I just got home from school and I went in the kitchen and I was hungry. And my brother says, Sis, he said, there's little chicken legs on the stove. Go get some if you're hungry. And I looked at him. I said, well, why are they so small? I said, those are from some small Bantam chickens. Because, you know, they are smaller chickens than regular chickens. So I didn't think anything of it. I grabbed one and started eating it. He started laughing and he said, Sis, you know what you just ate? I said, yeah, chicken. He said, no, you just ate a frog leg. Which I swore I'd never eat a frog leg, but it was good. It tasted like chicken. Now I'll eat them, you know, but back then I was not going to touch a frog leg. But I ate one that day. Yeah, Vic Power, you have a great, fantastic night and a good day tomorrow. And come back to my next live if you can. Watch my videos. I got a good video coming out in the morning if I ever get the video uploaded and edited tonight. I spotlight and hand grab my frog. Well, I don't catch frogs. I don't go frog gigging. But my brothers did. There was a pond about 2 blocks from where our house was. And every once in a while, they'd go up there frog gigging and come back with these great big old frogs. And fry up the legs. And I swore I'd never eat one, but he had those cooked before I got home. And they were sitting on the stove, and I ate one of them. Oh no, I got to go to bed. I have an early doctor appointment in the morning to get a shot in my knee. Good night to all. Was fun. See you next time. Okay, Annie Watson, you have a good night. Good luck with your shot tomorrow. Yeah, I've eaten rattlesnake too, and I didn't know it was rattlesnake when I ate it, but it was also good. I mean, it kind of tasted like chicken, but I'm not going to go out and catch rattlesnakes and cook them. No way. That's the one and only time I ate any rattlesnake. I don't like snakes, and I'm certainly not going to catch them to eat them. I've made good money on rattlesnake hunting on several farms and ranches. They have a big snake hunt here in Texas once a year down in Walnut Springs. And we went to it, I think, the first year we lived here. And they'd catch them and everybody'd bring them and put them in this pit. It looked like a big square swimming pool, concrete in-ground pool with no water. But they looked like worms. There were so many. They were just crawling all over one another. I said, I'm not catching those things. Wow, that was a big catfish, Too Tall Rob. They say there's catfish in Granbury Lake as big as a Volkswagen. I know I got something on the end of my pole one time that pulled the end of the rod under the boat and would not turn it loose. It held it there. So finally I tried to pull it up. It wouldn't come up. And finally, I guess the fish bit through the line because the line popped up, but the hook, cork, everything was gone. It was just the line. And I said, well, that's probably one of those big VW-sized catfish down there. Yeah, well, this was kind of like a contest. They called it the rattlesnake hunt. All the men would go out and catch rattlesnakes and bring them back and put them in that pit. I don't know what the guy that got the most won, but it was some kind of a contest. Yeah, that 22 pounds is a big turtle, too. Oh, my goodness. You were living in Minnesota. A friend of mine at work wrecked my truck. I had just bought a pontoon boat when a friend of mine in Louisiana told me she had her husband's truck for sale that I bought. I made a hitch for my trailer on my pontoon boat, floats under my axle, and I went down the Mississippi from Minnesota to Mississippi to buy the truck in Louisiana. A cross-country float trip. Took you 4 weeks to get there. Wow. I bet that was a cool experience. You took your dog Curtis and an Australian heeler and 3 buddies of mine, And down the river we went. I bet it was a lot of fun. Well, y'all, it's been good, but we've been on here for, let's see, 2.5 hours, basically. Yeah, he gave his dog a last name. I noticed that. Curtis Lowe. Curtis Lowy. That was a cool trip, Too Tall Rob. Yeah, that was a good test drive for it. It's all allergies. If it gets real bad, I go in and get a shot, but the last shot that he gave me didn't work. He changed it. I don't know what kind of shot he gave me, but it was different from the ones he'd been giving me before, and it didn't do as well, so I just didn't even go back. I just need something really good for allergies is what I need. And my allergy doctor said that he would have put me on regular shots if I wasn't as old as I was, if it hadn't been for my age. But he said, you seem to have made it this long as well as you have just by treating yourself. And he said, I don't want to be the one to put you on a regular regiment of shots all the time. And I didn't want to have to drive to Fort Worth. I don't know how often he would have given me the shots, whether it be once a week or twice a week or how often, but I didn't want to have to drive to Fort Worth either, so I didn't push the issue. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off here so I can rest my throat, quit talking, and give my throat a rest so I don't keep coughing. Tell everybody to please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed evening, and hopefully I will see you this weekend on a live or not before. So have a blessed night. We'll see you later. I love all of you. Bye now.